Hospital porters, pride and dignity, stop the New World Order. Welcome to HPANWO TV. Well, HPANWO TV viewers, it's Sunday morning. It was an action-packed and very fun and enjoyable day yesterday at the conference. It was a brilliant conference, excellent speakers, brilliant atmosphere, everyone's having a great time. Before I should go any further, I've got an apology to make. Yes, I have to apologise to Ian Crane for what I said yesterday. I was explaining how I was bothered by the colour coding system and the hierarchical nature of the tickets. The gold ticket, silver ticket, bronze ticket thing, you know, seemed not very alternative. Well, I've actually found out why the tickets are at different prices at different levels. And the truth is, the gold ticket and silver ticket prices are actually used to subsidise the bronze tickets, which makes the bronze tickets cheaper. I was concerned, you know, that this conference was too expensive for many people, and other people have said that this is a very expensive conference. Well, I mean, it has to be expensive though if you consider the things that were produced for it were very costly, very top-notch speakers, the glossy magazines and brochures and things and T-shirts. And yes, it has to be expensive to cover the production of that. But the bronze ticket prices are actually a lot lower because the gold and silver ones are so high. So I can see there was a noble motive behind the colour-coded tickets. So, sorry about that, Ian. I stand corrected, and this is a public HPANWO TV apology. Now, the speakers yesterday, one was Andy Thomas, and he's well known as a crop circle researcher. He was on a TV show with John Ronson many years ago, which I saw, and which that TV show played a big role in my sort of waking up kind of thing. Made me look at the world differently. He studies a lot of other different things now. He's into politics, geopolitics, things like that, conspiracy theories. It was a really great speech. I mean, I've got my differences with him, you know, but I think he's written a really good, really interesting looking book, which talks about 9/11 and the way government's trying to take over our lives and things like that. Very, very interesting thing as well. Now, Susan Bardosh is a lady who came all the way from Hungary. She left her husband and research partner's bedside. I told you yesterday about Dr. Arpad Pudsai, how he had a stroke a couple of months ago and he's still in hospital. She's obviously as concerned as anyone would be when their husband and lover is sick in hospital. But she's left his side, jumped on a plane and come over here to do her speech. And what's more, she did her husband's speech too, using his notes. And she basically did her speech and she got on a plane and went back to him. Now, that kind of dedication and that kind of desire to spread the message really, really deserves to be congratulated. And I'm glad to say she got a standing ovation from the delegates, and very, very much deserved. She and her husband have stood up against the virulent and vicious attacks by academia and government when they were trying to push through GMO foods. And I'll tell you, there's no example of human hostility that is more vicious and more hate-filled than scientists when another scientist disagrees with them, especially when there's an establishment view and the scientist disagreeing with them is upholding a non-establishment view. I can give you dozens of examples of people who have been ruined because of this conformist scientific establishment regime. So all kudos to Susan Bardosh and of course her husband Arpad as well. Hopefully I'll get to meet him one day. He'll come and do a speech one day at the conference. Another one was Tony Gosling. Now, I've seen Tony Gosling before at Probe. Now, he's a very interesting guy because he talks about the Bilderberg Group. And he talks about the Round Table sort of network. He doesn't actually use that term, but I mean, it's very obviously this is what he's hinting at, the various different think tanks that link together, because the members of each one tend to overlap. You know, I don't think there's anyone who's a member of one without having some contact with some of the others, if not full membership. And they all tend to be the same people, government senior politicians in government, media moguls, top military strategists, and most sinisterly of all, psychological experts. And I'll be saying a lot more about that later. So Tony Gosling, of course, is a journalist from the BBC, and I think his work can act as an excellent resource for anyone who's into journalism. You know, as a warning in it almost, to be warned. And he talked about something called Spin Watch, which is actually a journalist resource, which actually is alerts members of their profession to politically motivated storyline and editors. So good for Tony Gosling. Now, me and Bardo, it's wonderful that we're here to share this experience together. And I went to have dinner, and we had a lovely time at dinner, and met Dr. David Bellamy, who I'll be talking about today because he's going to be speaking. And the food here is really great. It's lovely, and it's organic, special organic menu, especially for us organic food bods. You know, this is especially in light of Susan Bardosh's speech. You know, all about the GMOs. And Ian himself will be speaking today as well, and he'll mention that because this is his own subject, his own specialised subject. So I think we've got to go to breakfast, haven't we, Bardo? We've got to go to breakfast. Yes, we got told off yesterday morning because we spent too long at breakfast. That's the problem with a conference like this, is where there's all these speakers, is they have a very, very tight schedule, and lapses in that schedule become more serious. They tried this out of Probe once, having a 5-speaker per day format, and it didn't work. It seems to be working at this conference, strangely enough, which is shows that this is different from Probe. I don't think anyone should regard this as a copy of Probe, or a copy of Beyond Knowledge, or a copy of the Now That's Weird conference. Yeah, I should also apologise to Ross Hemsworth as well, because Ross, if you're watching this, I'm afraid I'm going to have to break my promise that I made to you last year, because I promised I'd come back this year, and I'm afraid I can't. I don't have the money. Basically, I've had some tough choices to make, which conferences to go to, which ones not to go to. I'd love to go to all of them. If I had unlimited money and time, I'd go to every conference. One day I'll go to the UFO conference in Nevada. That's the one I really want to go to, the International UFO Conference. Until I can do that, I'm going to have to make some very, very tough decisions. That's all for now. I hope you're having a nice day, like I am. Hospital Porters, Bride and Dignity, stop the New World Order. Cheerio.